I thought I was exposing my cheating husband. Instead, I became the villain in my own marriage. You know that gut feeling when something's wrong? The one that makes your skin crawl and keeps you awake at 3 a.m. I should have trusted it sooner. But I also should have trusted my husband. This is the story of how I destroyed my marriage trying to save it. My name is Sarah, and 3 months ago, I became convinced my husband Mark was having an affair. Looking back, I can pinpoint the exact moment everything started unraveling. It was a Tuesday evening when Mark came home 2 hours late, claiming he had to finish up some paperwork. The thing is, Mark hates paperwork. He's a software developer who usually rushes out of the office the second his shift ends. But that night, he seemed different, happier. He was humming in the shower, which he never does. When I asked about his day, he was vague. Just the usual stuff, babe. Nothing exciting. The red flags started piling up fast. Mark, who used to leave his phone lying around carelessly, suddenly took it everywhere, even to the bathroom. When I'd walk into a room, he'd quickly flip it face down or slip it into his pocket. His explanations were always innocent enough, just checking work emails or reading the news. Then came the late nights. 3 times a week, sometimes 4. Big project at work, he'd say, kissing my forehead before rushing out. But here's the thing that really got to me, he stopped complaining about work. Mark used to come home and vent about his annoying coworkers and impossible deadlines. Suddenly, work was just fine and he changed the subject. The breaking point came when I found the receipt. I was doing laundry and checking pockets when I found a crumpled piece of paper from Tiffany & Company. $3,200 for a diamond pendant. My heart stopped. Our anniversary wasn't for another 6 months, and my birthday had passed without any Tiffany gift. Who was he buying expensive jewelry for? I'll admit it, I snooped. I grabbed his phone while he was in the shower and tried his passcode. He changed it from our wedding date to something I didn't recognize. When he came out, I casually asked, "Hey, what's your new phone password?" "I want to check the weather." "Oh, I'll check it for you," he said, taking the phone. "What do you need to know?" He wouldn't even let me hold his phone anymore. That weekend, Mark said he had to run errands and would be gone most of Saturday. I decided to follow him. I'm not proud of this, but desperation makes you do crazy things. I watched from my car as he went into 3 different stores, a florist, a wine shop, and a fancy restaurant where he talked to the manager for 20 minutes. My sister Lisa called that evening, and I broke down crying, telling her everything. She was quiet for a long moment before saying, "Sarah, I saw Mark at Westfield Mall last Thursday. He was with a woman. Blonde, really pretty. They looked close." My world crumbled. I started paying closer attention to Mark's phone. Whenever it buzzed, I tried to catch a glimpse. One evening, I saw a text notification from Jay that said, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Everything is perfect." I confronted him about Jay. "Who's Jay?" I asked, trying to sound casual. Mark's face went red. "Just a friend from work. A friend with a heart emoji." "Sarah, come on. It's not what you think." But it was exactly what I thought. I knew in my bones that Mark was cheating with this J person, and I was going to prove it. I did more digging. I found out from Mark's LinkedIn that there was a Jessica Walsh who worked in his building, blonde, attractive, recently divorced. When I drove by his office one day, I saw them having lunch together at the cafe across the street. They were sitting close. Mark was laughing at something she said, and when they got up to leave, he touched her lower back. I had my smoking gun. But I wanted more than just a confrontation. Mark had humiliated me by having an affair. I was going to humiliate him right back. I started planning the most epic public exposure in history. Mark's company Christmas party was in 2 weeks. Everyone would be there, his coworkers, his boss, even some of their spouses. "Are you sure you want to come this year?" he asked. "It's usually pretty boring." "Oh, I wouldn't miss it," I said sweetly. I spent the next week preparing my presentation. Screenshots of receipts, photos of them together, a timeline of his lies. I even invited my parents and Mark's parents, telling them I had a special surprise to share at the party. The night of the party, Mark was nervous. He kept checking his phone and seemed distracted during the drive. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yeah, just work stuff. You know how it is." I knew exactly how it was. He was probably texting his mistress, coordinating their story so they wouldn't get caught together. The party was in full swing when I arrived with my laptop and portable projector. I told the party organizer I wanted to share some special photos, technically true. Mark was across the room talking to Jessica, and seeing them together made my blood boil. I set up my equipment and asked for everyone's attention. "Hi everyone. I'm Sarah, Mark's wife. I have something very special to share with you all tonight about my husband." Mark looked confused but smiled encouragingly. Jessica looked curious. Both sets of parents moved closer to get a better view. I clicked to my first slide, the truth about Mark. Mark's smile faltered. "For the past 3 months, my husband has been lying to me. Staying late at work, being secretive with his phone, making mysterious purchases." The room grew quiet. Mark's face went pale. I found receipts for expensive jewelry I never received. I discovered secret text messages with heart emojis. I saw him having intimate lunches with his coworker. I clicked a photo of Mark and Jessica at the cafe. I followed him to fancy restaurants and watched him plan romantic surprises, just not for his wife. Mark stepped forward. "Sarah, stop. Please. You don't understand. Oh, I understand perfectly." I clicked to the next slide showing the Tiffany receipt. $3,000 for jewelry for your girlfriend while you told me we needed to stick to a budget. That's when Jessica spoke up, looking panicked. "Sarah, you've got this all wrong. Do I? Then explain why my husband has been sneaking around with you for months." Mark looked like he was about to cry. "Sarah, please, just stop the presentation. Let me explain." "Explain in front of everyone, Mark. Explain why you've been cheating on me with Jessica." "I haven't been cheating," Mark shouted, his voice cracking. "Jessica isn't my girlfriend, she's a wedding planner." The room went dead silent. "What?" I whispered. Jessica stepped forward, wringing her hands. "I'm an event coordinator. Mark hired me 3 months ago to plan your anniversary party. We've been organizing a vow renewal ceremony for your 10th anniversary next month." The laptop slipped from my hands. Mark's voice was shaking. "The jewelry was your new wedding ring. The restaurants were venues I was checking out. The late nights were me meeting with vendors and planners. The errands were me picking up samples and meeting with photographers." I felt like I was going to throw up. The heart emoji, Jessica added quietly, was because Mark kept telling me how much he loved you and wanted everything to be perfect. I saved his contact away because he was such a sweet husband. Everyone in the room was staring at me. Mark's mom was crying. My dad looked mortified. Mark's coworkers were whispering among themselves. "Mark," I started, but he held up his hand. "You thought so little of me," he said, tears streaming down his face. "You thought I was capable of cheating on you. You followed me around like a private investigator instead of just asking me what was going on. I tried to ask. You were being secretive. Because it was a surprise. Because I wanted to do something special for the woman I love." His voice broke. "And instead of trusting me, you decided to destroy me in front of everyone I work with." The weight of what I'd done hit me all at once. I'd accused my faithful husband of adultery in front of 50 people, including our families. I turned our most romantic gesture into our most humiliating moment. Mark, I'm so sorry. I didn't know dash, you didn't want to know, he said quietly. You wanted to believe the worst. He walked out of the party, leaving me standing there with my stupid presentation still glowing on the wall behind me. Jessica approached me as people started to leave. For what it's worth, he really loves you. He spent hours showing me photos of your honeymoon, telling me about your favorite flowers, your favorite songs. He wanted everything to be exactly what you dreamed of. I drove home alone. Mark wasn't there, and he didn't come back that night. He stayed at his brother's house for a week. When he finally came home, he was different. Distant. Hurt in a way I'd never seen before. I don't know how to get past this, Sarah, he told me. It's not just that you didn't trust me. It's that you chose public humiliation as your weapon. You tried to destroy my reputation, my career, my relationship with my family. We went to counseling, but the damage was severe. Mark had trouble being affectionate. He started working later, actually working this time, because he said home felt uncomfortable. Every time I tried to be loving or romantic, I could see him remembering that night. The worst part. The anniversary party Jessica had planned was beautiful. Mark couldn't bring himself to cancel it entirely, so we had a small ceremony with just our immediate families. But it felt like a funeral instead of a celebration. 6 months later, we are still together, but we are not the same. Mark forgives me in theory, but I can see the hurt in his eyes. He's careful around me now, like he's waiting for the next accusation. The spontaneous joy in our relationship died that night at the Christmas party. I've learned that revenge is a poison you drink hoping someone else will get sick. I thought I was protecting myself from betrayal, but I was the one who betrayed our marriage. I betrayed the trust, the benefit of the doubt, the love that should have made me give Mark a chance to explain. Sometimes the person you should trust most is the one you're about to destroy. And sometimes, the cheater in the relationship is the one looking for betrayal where none exists.